everybody, welcome to the One Amazing Life podcast. Once again, my name is Chris Stewart, and I am your co-host this week. I got a special co-host who I'm going to introduce in a second. I'm super excited, and we have got a show for you this week. Oh, man, I hope you guys are fired up, man. Get some popcorn, find a good spot to sit down, and get ready, because we are going to do the epic Sibling episode. That's right. I got three of my favorite people in the whole world here with me today. They also happen to be related, not to me, but to each other. And we're going to get some dirt, man. We're going to have some good time stories. And most of all, we're just going to have a good time on the show. So once again, welcome, everybody. I'm going to start with introducing my co-host.
Hey, it's Patrick, not Jamie. Surprising. Jamie couldn't be here today, so I got to sit in and talk, and this is going to be exciting. My first time actually on the podcast, and I just had to fill in for Jamie and mention what Chris is wearing. Chris is looking great today. He's wearing a green Community Serve Day t-shirt with like a black suit jacket over it. Just looks so nice. I love the look, you know, kind of celebrating the day of Community Serve Day, party on the patio, and the jacket just to keep your consistency of your style going. So props to you.
Thanks, buddy. It's all honor to God, but also I don't know. I feel like I could be like the fill-in host on Ellen or something today. You know?
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah.
The whole T-shirt and sport thing. You know what I mean? Anyway, we're super stoked to have Patrick. For those of you that don't know, Patrick is also our ace in the hole, and he is our producer of the show. So if it wasn't for him, this show wouldn't even be possible. So we're excited to actually hear what he has to say about something instead of just being the guy that takes care of everything in the background. So anyway, we do miss Jamie today, but we're glad Patrick is with us. Now, I'm going to introduce our esteemed guests today for today's show. Super excited to have you guys on here. Let's start off with the eldest. Sir, you are?
Hi, I'm Jack Quinlan, and this is my first time on the podcast, and I am the beginning of the Quinlan children.
Meaning that you are the eldest.
Yes,
correct?
that is correct.
Okay, perfect. Jack, we're super excited to have you on the show because you don't live here. Where do you live?
I live in Denver, Colorado, actually.
Currently. And what are you doing in Denver, Colorado?
I'm out there for culinary school.
Yeah, exactly. First year culinary student. We're super excited. And we're just glad you're here today so we can actually do this show. Okay, next I'm going to go to my left.
Hi, I'm Sam Quinlan, and while Nathan and I are twins, I'm technically the youngest by a minute.
That's perfect. So you're the middle child, huh?
No, yeah, I'm the youngest because he was born a minute before me.
Okay, you're right. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're the youngest. Okay, nice. And then to my right, we have...
I'm Nathan Quinlan, and I'm the middle child. And, well, this is like my fifth time on the podcast, so I'm not new like they are.
This is true. You are the veteran of the podcast scene, so we will expect more from you. Congratulations. Okay, so listen, let's start off with... I'm going to start off with you, Jack. So, Jack, you're the oldest. Life was going great, and then all of a sudden, mom or dad comes to you and like, hey, guess what? You're going to have a... Did they know it was twins? Do you remember?
They didn't know that it was twins at first. They knew that they were having another child. I don't know if they knew if it was a boy or girl yet, but I know that I was excited immediately. I don't remember it, but they told me that I was like pumped to have a little brother or sister.
I can see that because knowing you, I'm sure you're like, man, I got a lot of stuff this kid can do for me, like clean my room. I can already picture that. That was probably your first thought. Yeah. You're like, I get some extra allowance now. Like, there's gonna be some good stuff, right?
And Jack, how much older are you than Sam and Nathan?
I am 2 years and 3 months, and depending on what month it is, 30 or 29 days.
Wow.
Just,
like
approximately,
2 years and
right?
4
Just
months.
approximately. I don't
Yeah.
I don't think about it too much. Okay, whatever.
Do you know the minutes and seconds too? I'm just kidding.
No.
That'll be for another show. Thanks, Jack. Okay, that's all we need from Jack today. Okay, thanks, Jack, for being on the show. No, I'm just kidding you. And so then what happens, right? They're born and there's twins, and you're like,
Well, again, I don't really remember, but the earliest memory that I do have of them being in the house or like me just being with them is playing peekaboo with them when I was like 3 or something, and they were just about turning 1.
yeah.
And they loved it. They loved it so much, and it was just so much fun. And it was I don't know if I fully understood that they were my siblings yet and not just like a pet or something.
Right.
Honestly.
Right.
Because,
When you're 3 years old, you never know, right? There's lots of stuff going on.
yeah, no, it was, that's my earliest memory is just playing with them when I was like 3 years old.
Nice. I love it. Now, Sam, I'm going to switch over to you now. So you are the only female in the sibling rivalry here, right? What has that been like for you?
I definitely am tougher and I'd say more athletic because, just being around two brothers, I was always playing with them and, I wasn't a lot of princess stuff around the house. So, I messed with trucks, toy trucks and cars and whatnot, played a lot of sports. I used to steal their clothes and their shoes.
Still does.
Okay. I still do a little bit, but yeah, it's, I think it's helped me because I really enjoy, where I am now and I, play a sport.
And what's it like when you have two brothers? Because I'm sure even if you only have one brother, but what's it like with the relationship? Like, are you guys at that stage yet where you actually, I don't want to say love each other because obviously you love each other, your brother and sister, but I don't know, for me and my sister at least, there was always a lot of like competition or like I'm older brother, this and that. But now we're like best friends. Have you guys got to that point yet? Or are you still kind of like in that argumentative? I notice Jack tells you what to do a lot. I mean, is he kind of bossy?
With Jack, I'd say definitely not. Unless I'm forgetting some things, I think we've always had a pretty good relationship. Jack and I talk a lot all the time. When he's here, I'm always walking into his room. So I'd say that, it's always been good between me and Jack. And Nathan, I love Nathan, but we are twins. And so we've always been in the same points in life. So it tends to be a competition, maybe more ran on my part because I tend to be competitive and he's just like be quiet but Nathan and I are still good. He pretends to not like me at school when I like scream his name across the halls, but it's just an act, I think.
Oh, I could tell. Yeah, he's like that with me too when I'm here, so that's cool. Okay, great. Now Nathan, let's get to you. What's it like having a brother and a sister at the same time?
It's kind of always a competition, like what she just said with twins. It's always like some sort of competition, and then with an older brother, it just doesn't end with an older brother. It's just always fighting and messing around with each other. But we don't do that anymore.
From what I'm hearing, man, the struggle is real for Nathan right now. You know what I mean? It's right. Even the dynamic around here in the studio is that he's like off to one side and they're like on the other side. I just noticed that. Like, did they set that up before I even came in the studio today? Like, this is crazy. Nathan, which one of your best memories of you and Sam as twins? Like when you guys were like, did you guys ever like dress up as a school play together, or did you guys were you guys on the same team together at some point?
They're exchanging looks, Chris.
They are.
I think there's a good story
Sam's
here.
like ready to share one. Nathan looks like I just like asked him to like steal like a honeycomb out of a bear's hand. He's like, what?
When you said something like dress in a school play or something,
Yeah.
it reminded me that something we used to do was, we'd have our like kids game shirts when we were the kids who went to that camp, and we had a lot of the same shirts and shorts from rec soccer. So we would dress up in the same clothes and then wear like hats, and I'd tuck my hair in. So we'd try, because we were twins, so we thought that was so cool that we'd try to like look the same. And then we'd go to our mom and like turn around and be like, guess which one? And she had to play along and be like, oh, it's hard to tell, but I remember that. Yeah.
I mean, let's give it up for your mom too, boy. She has her hands full. You know what I mean? Like she seems so nice and well behaved as well. I don't know how. She must have a good therapist. I don't know. I've just dealing with you guys once a week. I have sometimes need to talk about it, but what an angel she is, and your dad both. But the other thing too that I want to look at is what about like family vacations? What do you guys like on family vacations? Do you guys remember like a certain one? You guys like, was it funner when you were younger, or like when you guys kind of got older? Do you remember anything in particular? Would you guys ever go to the Grand Canyon or Disneyland together? I'm sure you guys have been to a couple different places, but what was cool about going on family vacations together?
Oh, well, I would say what you said about being younger versus older, it's definitely more enjoyable now, I would say, because when we were all young, especially when we were really young, we would like cry on the plane and everything, no matter where we would go. My parents would hate that. But I noticed that still to this day, no matter what, we almost get in a like screaming argument within like 5 minutes of being in the car. When we're trying to leave early in the morning, I think we just try to get it out of the way as fast as possible because we know it's going to happen because that's just inevitable. But yeah, I mean, we've gone to the Grand Canyon. Yeah, we went to the Grand Canyon when we were in like 6th grade, and that was really fun. We did like a halfway cross country drive, and that was fun, except for being in the car crammed up next to them for freaking like 8 hours a day.
From what I understand, you guys go on like a Thanksgiving trip every year. Is that correct? And that's like down to Mexico?
Yeah, so ever since Nathan and I were 10 months old, and our mom had gone for years before that, but the first time Nathan and I went, we were 10 months old, and my mom regrets taking us very much. It was miserable for her. There's all these pictures. She like can't even smile. She was exhausted, and we were yeah, we were lots of trouble for her. And then she has like a toddler running around too. But yeah, we go on that trip every year to this day. So it's a regular for us. My mom hopes that we keep going, but I do, the scream fights, they're funny. It's just the Quinlan joke, we can't make a trip without him, but like we try to make safety words. Like one year it was pineapple. And we were like, if someone says pineapple, you have to stop talking. And when we go to Oklahoma to see family, it's Star Wars. But it usually doesn't work. You just get mad at the person for trying to be the like quote unquote mature one. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, the safety word, huh? What about camp? Let's get into that because you guys all love going to camp. How does that look as a family when you guys are going to camp? Right? Like, do you guys remember coming back and having any special times with actually siblings, or is it nice just to be up at camp and still see each other but have your own experience?
Well, every time that Nathan and I go up to camp together, we famously have a brother moment where everyone goes, "Aw," and our group circle, and we get in the middle and we hug and everything.
But no,
that's always an awesome experience, and I already love my brothers so much, and it's just just that extra connection of like being up at camp with God and everything, and it just amplifies everything, and it just makes you feel so great, and you get to grow closer together. It's always a great experience.
And Nathan, what about you? I know you love camp. Because we've talked about it. You were on the camp episode, weren't you, on the camp podcast? So what's that like? Like, how has Jack kind of influenced or has he even influenced, being an older brother, your decision to follow Christ or your decision to be such a big part of church and camp and things like that?
I mean, it definitely, him being at camp adds something to it. Like, this past time at winter camp, when he wasn't there, it was like, something was kind of missing. I mean, I filled in with it by wearing the Tigger suit, but it wasn't like when he's not there, it's like kind of different. Like we're kind of missing something. And then like go back to last summer camp. He's there, of course. And it's like, he brings an energy to camp that really, it sticks out like no one else does, kind of.
He definitely does. Now, let's talk about the tradition of the Tigger suit. Well, I got you guys here. Where does that come from, Nathan?
I'm not really sure. Jack probably knows.
Well, it actually is a really old thing. The Tigger suit actually belongs to this church, technically. But at winter camp 2 or 3 years ago, someone let me wear it, and then either I just kind of took it home. Jamie knew about it, but I think I just kind of took it and just kind of held on to it. And then I would wear it to camp and everything, and I went skiing in it, which was terrible. But I kind of just held on to the Tigger suit and started wearing it to church things, and then people started to associate, at least at winter camp, like me with the Tigger suit. And then when I didn't go this year, I let him take the Tigger suit, and he kept the tradition going. So
he did it proud too. I'll have to say. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, is every year at camp, one of the Quinlan boys will wear a Tigger suit to like kind of welcome the middle school kids or something, make them feel a little bit more at ease. And so it's a really awesome experience. But I was always curious, like, well, you guys always got the dibs on that, but it doesn't fit me. Sam, what about you? What's your experience with camp?
Unfortunately, because of my very hectic and busy soccer schedule with my teams, because the coaches during the summer, there's showcases, so we can't miss practice. But I used to go, I would do the winter camp and the summer camp, and I really, really miss it. And I'm hoping that in the future I can be able to come to one, because I really do love it. Because, just being up on the mountain, I do feel much more connected to God. And the worship songs, like, I just fall in love with every year. Like, those moments whenever just everyone's worshiping as one together and, like, singing the songs. I love those moments, and it's also really fun. And, you can kind of disconnect from your phone. So I do miss it a lot, and I'm hoping I can go again sometime. So, yeah.
Cool. I love it.
So I know that all three of you were at the same high school for 2 years. Is that correct? 2 years. Did people know that you were all siblings and related? And Sam and Nathan, people know that you guys were twins?
I mean, still people to this day realize that we're twins. Like just last week, I think someone was like, wait, is that person your twin? And I don't know.
Like this at this point, you're both like, what's...
And Sam, what about you? Do you guys have similar or the same friend groups, or how does that work out?
We have very different friend groups, but yeah, some people still come up to me and they're like freaking out. They're like, wait, that Nathan kid's your twin? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, how do people not know yet? But yeah, we have very different friend groups. So that's why, when I walk by him, anytime I see him, I'll scream, hi, Nathan, and wave. And he usually pretends he can't hear me. But we do have a class together. We've had a few in the past, but we have a class called Pop Culture with a great teacher who Jack once had. And it's just a fun class, and I get to bother him. But he got his seat moved because we kept distracting him. So.
Wow.
Oh, that's that. You know what?
That's
I'm going to
tough.
do a quick speed round here because we're going to get some real answers now. And
right.
since we have Jack here to decide who's going to be the tie, this is going to be called Twin Mental Tug of War. Are you guys ready for this?
Okay.
This is coming together. Okay, out of you two, who is the best academic student?
That's pretty tied. Yeah.
I want them to go first, and then we'll see who's making it up.
I don't want to say it, but you go ahead, Jack.
That would probably be Samantha.
Okay. That's all right. Hey, this is just what it's about.
Purely academic, like school-wise, like just that, Samantha.
Okay.
She beats me too, so don't.
This is good to know. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Next question. Best athlete.
That's tough because it depends on what it is.
Well, we do our own sports.
Yeah,
Because they have their own things.
She's got soccer, and I'm a surfer, so.
Very true. So, who's winning the OP Pro this year, and who's going to the Olympics?
I mean, I played for an Elite Clubs National League team, and I played
That
on.
sounds pretty advanced. I don't know what that
that's
means,
pretty-
but that sounds pretty advanced.
Nathan, have you ever met Rob Machado?
No.
Rob Machado.
Have you ever met Rob Avocado?
How about Justin Bieber? I heard he's a surfer. Have you ever met him?
I have not.
No? Okay. All right, we'll call that one a tie. Okay, how about mom's favorite?
Nathan.
He jumps to the
Nathan, we have this little inside joke that like when we're sitting at the dinner table or something, if like if our mom is not like looking directly at Samantha or I, and we go mom, she won't look at us. But if he goes mom, she turns around immediately.
Yes, honey.
Good to know.
Literally, yeah.
This is an inside
That's the joke.
we
He
have.
doesn't agree, but yeah, we always, make the joke. Like, and mom will be like, "Oh no, let Nathan go first." We're like, the favorite.
It's because he's the
favorite."
sweetest.
Yeah, he really causes the least trouble, and he's sweet. So they say it.
Interesting. It's like he has like dyslexic middle child syndrome, right? Like usually they all say the middle child is the most problem child, but not in this family, huh?
I know.
Good to know.
Backwards.
All right, who got their driver's license first?
Me, but it was just because
That was her because instead of taking my test, I went to camp. So
we switched.
Good move.
I could have
Yeah,
taken it
okay.
first, but I chose to go to camp.
Okay. Best singer.
We're both very bad.
yeah, we're both very bad. I like whenever Nathan sings to some like old songs in the car. I don't know the way you sing it. I don't even know. Like on the way back from our trip to Mexico, we were all cracking up because he just does this weird voice.
Oh, really? Good. Okay. How about best rapper?
Oh God,
don't
I'm
even-
sure we're
I don't
both
even know.
terrible
I
too.
don't even know.
Jack,
yeah.
any idea?
Well, if I had to guess which one of them would be a better rapper, I would actually no Samantha, because she can rap the verses to a couple of 21 Pilots songs that are quite fast.
Yeah, I became obsessed with 21 Pilots around 7th grade, and I memorized all of the raps, and they're like very fast talking raps. And I like to memorize a lot of songs, and a lot of them are super fast raps. So
Yep.
I can't come up with it, but
I
can
thought
do
21 Pilots was like a ballad, slow.
They're
band.
kind of
Sometimes.
they're kind of
They're
like
everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not too far off then.
Best cook.
Me.
Jack. Between us, though,
But between you two,
I don't know.
Nathan like couldn't even
probably
make
Samantha.
like toast. For a
Samantha.
while.
I've never seen you. I've never seen Nathan cook.
I can cook a good breakfast.
Oh
What are
no,
you
you
thinking
can
of?
make breakfast. I'll
Your
give you that.
Cheerios.
No, pancakes,
No,
eggs,
he
and
cooked a big old
bacon.
breakfast with his
Okay,
friends the other day.
okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But just I would. You know, I'm gonna give Nathan the cooking one because I saw you. I saw what you made last.
One time I had to come home and make pasta for him because
That
Mom-
sounds so
So
hard.
easy.
you couldn't.
You have to
figure it
like
out.
boil the water and everything.
Oh my god,
Jeez.
he couldn't figure it out. This is a while ago.
When was this?
Okay,
I
now
don't
we're getting somewhere. This is good games. I like the speed round, don't you, Patrick?
No, it was great. That's great.
Who would you say has the most biblical knowledge?
I'm gonna go with Nathan on that one because he definitely goes to church more often and camp more often. Not necessarily because you don't choose to, because you just can't. But yeah, Nathan probably has more biblical knowledge.
Yeah, I'd agree. He's here a lot more than I'm able to be, so he definitely knows more.
Okay, so it looks like from our results from the speed round that we have Nathan, who's the strong silent type, who's a great surfer and has the most biblical knowledge, and then we have Sam, who's like the most popular at school, best, like, most academic, and also is like just has street cred all over the place,
National soccer star.
right? Like pro athlete and like just all around killing it.
Yeah. That's right. Okay, I got a question. I've heard that twins can sometimes like read each other's minds or know like if the other one's in pain. So have you ever experienced anything like that? Like Nathan, have you ever broken your arm and Sam, you're like, "Oh my gosh, my arm is hurting." Has you ever experienced anything like that? Nathan, we'll start with you.
I don't ever sense that if something's wrong with her, but she says that she can tell when I'm like not feeling good.
Yeah, no. Whenever we were younger, if Nathan was ever nauseous, I'd feel really sick too.
Even if you were like you were home and he was at school or vice versa?
Maybe more like when we're in the house or like mostly on car rides. I could have a really strong sense of when he was starting to get car sick because little Nathan did that a lot.
Well, I mean,
yes.
I'm going to say, like, being a sympathetic puker is no, like, mystery. I'm that
no,
kind
I
of
know.
person.
No.
Yeah. If
No,
you puke,
yeah.
I'm going to join you.
No,
so.
it's like before it happens. I don't know. Like he hasn't like gotten sick yet, but I could tell like right whenever he's starting to feel bad, I would like always make mom, and I'd tell her. I was like, I can tell he's gonna start to feel bad, and he'd just be sitting there. But that nothing else really special. No pain connection. Can't read his mind.
Cool.
I've tried it to see if they would feel each other's pain by like slapping them before. 100%. It didn't work though.
Definitely.
Nice. What was it like when Jack went away to college? Because he went away to college this past fall. How did your family dynamic change after he left?
They made a new family group chat without me. Just
We
gonna
did.
throw that out there.
We did. You
I was like, I was okay with it because it was all stuff that like
Doesn't
didn't
sound
affect.
like you're okay with
it. Didn't. Hey, well, it was all stuff when they were still using the family group chat. It was all stuff that didn't affect me anymore. So I honestly put it on mute. But then they made a new one without me, and I was like, oh, dang.
But do you guys still talk a lot? You know, Jack, do you talk to them? Do you guys talk to Jack?
Yeah, he'll randomly send me a Snapchat, or I'll send him something, and we'll have like a little conversation, sometimes phone calls. But yeah, we did make the Quinlan Party of 4 group chat. That's what we call it. He was a little upset. But yeah, it was weird whenever he left. I would like come home and be like, oh, I'm going to tell Jack this. And then I was like, oh, shoot, he's like not in his room or something. So it was a little weird. And I'd say we're like a very independent family. So everyone's doing their own thing. And I guess that's kind of even more emphasized now. But yeah, I basically would I just forget sometimes and be like, oh gosh, like he's in Denver. But yeah.
Nice. You know, one of the things before we got to wrap it up here in a second, but what I want you guys each to give us your what your dad means to you. You know, because like when you got like I know your mom's. We already talked a little about mom and you know older brothers and you know that kind of stuff. But what was it like? You know, like with your dad having the twins and you know 3 kids. That's a lot. You know what I mean? And what kind of part does your dad fit into this as well?
Well, my dad has been, I think, the most important part of my life, really forever. I've always looked up to my dad. I've always been so impressed with how my dad can have to deal with so much difficult crap going on at one time and still do it and manage to stay sane, honestly, and deal with 3 kids at the same time who are all having their own separate problems. It's just always been, he's been such a role model for me, and just how smart he is with everything that he does. Like he everything that I've learned financial, I've learned from him, not from school, but everything that I've learned from him has helped me so much in my life. And I would not be the person that I am today without my dad. I have known a lot of people throughout my life that have not had either a dad in the picture at all or have had not a good dad at all. And I feel so blessed to have had the dad that I have and still have him because he has been the biggest influence on my life than anyone has ever been. And I love him so much, and I don't know what I would do without him.
Yeah, I love my dad so much. A lot of people say that I'm very much like my dad, or, and I've noticed that. Got the green eyes. We're both left-handed, so that's like physical things. But I think our personalities are really similar because my dad's definitely the sarcastic, funny one in the family, and all of the kids, all of our humor kind of matches that. My mom doesn't love it, but yeah, it's fun that I've always had a great relationship with him, which I am so grateful for, because we can always just mess around. I call him Jimbo. He doesn't love it, but it's his little nickname for me.
Right.
But yeah, he's also just taught me so much, and he's also, he's such a strong person. Like Jack said, he has to deal with a lot of stuff at once, and it's super stressful, but he still makes time to pick me up from practice or get us dinner and sit down and, spend time with his kids and his wife. And it means a lot to us that he really cares so much. And and he and I relate on a lot of things regarding anxiety wise. We're very similar in that way, and he has helped me a lot through that because he's been through the same situation as I have been, and has helped me and made me feel a lot better knowing that I'm living with someone who understands and can help me with that. So it means a lot to me what our Father does for us every day. So yeah.
I love it, man. This is great. It's so nice to hear what everybody has to say in this type of situation, because it's nice to point out that, there are great dads out there that do a lot of great stuff. And Nathan, what's your relationship like with your dad? I mean, you're still kind of a teenager, so.
Well, all throughout just elementary school, he was just my math homework tutor. Those were traumatic times sitting at the table.
Right, math is yeah.
But once it got into middle school, that's when I started going on all these adventures with my friends, and he was our driver.
Oh,
and he loved doing
taxi.
Yeah, he loved doing that, taking our friends on all these adventures every weekend, taking us to the beach, taking us cliff jumping, just doing anything. And it was just awesome having him there. And now that I drive, he doesn't get to do that anymore, but he still wants to.
Yeah.
And he wishes that he still could. Miss seeing all my friends almost die every weekend was fun for him, I guess.
Let's just say the adventure. Let's not put that on there. We'll get Mom a heart attack.
Oh, she knows about it.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. If she doesn't, she does now.
She's seen the videos of the backflips.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You guys all have the videos too now. Sweet. I love it, man. Kudos to you, Dad. Love it. The and every day on the show, we always end it with you guys sending out a prayer of hope to some kind of demographic of people. That's what I always like to do. So whether or not it's people that maybe don't have dads, maybe it's orphans, maybe it's homeless people, maybe it's people struggling with addiction. Who's going to be your message this week, Jack? Who do you got some love for?
This week, I'm going to throw a shout out to all the kids that just recently went to college and feel alone all the time and need some more friends.
Hey, that's a great one, man. I don't think we've shouted out to them yet. Sweet,
Yeah,
we
I
got a
don't
new
think so.
category. Check, solid.
Love it.
Sam, what about you?
I think I'm gonna give a shout out to people, especially the high schoolers that are struggling with mental health, depression, and whatnot, because that's unfortunately a really common thing, and I would like to pray for those people.
Awesome, I love it. Nathan?
I'd throw a shout out to all the siblings out there that aren't close with their siblings. Like, especially like if you're in high school or something, try and get close to them now, because once they leave, then like you kind of miss that opportunity, you know?
Very true. It is hard to reconnect once they leave the nest, so to speak. Patrick, what about you, brother?
Today we had at our church, there was a party on the patio, and I looked around and I was like, wow, some people really went to great lengths to come to church this morning. And so I just want to think of all those people that say, I don't care how many buses I need to take, taxis, I don't care if I have to walk, if I have to get the church bus. They make it a point to come, to learn, to grow, to enter into fellowship. So I want to just lift those people up, and also the people that can't make it. I just hope that they can find a way to do home church, find a community of their own. Those are the people I want to think about and lift up.
Nice. And, and I'm going to lift up all the kids that are going through hard times that aren't their fault this week. There's so much stuff going on, not just in our country, the great U.S. of A., but, this show goes all around the world. And, there's a lot of kids out there that, through whatever circumstances in life, get dealt a bad hand right from the start. And, we just want you to know that we love you and that God loves you, and that there is always hope, man. And that's what this show's all about, just turning tragedy into triumph and bringing brotherly and sisterly love together, and whatever we're talking about on the show, man, it all has God's favor and God's love with it. So once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in this week to the One Amazing Life podcast. I want to thank my guest host, Patrick, for being here. It's great to have you at the table. I want to thank the Quinlan family for being so gracious with their time and honest and coming in here. And, it's always great seeing you guys, and I love you guys. And, it's great watching you grow up, and it was cool to sit around the table with you today. So thanks again for coming on the show. We want to thank everybody again for listening. And if you have any questions or you have a subject you want us to do for this program, please don't forget you can always contact me at chris@one-youth.com. Send me an email. We'd love to hear from you. And yeah, that's all we got for this week. Everybody have a great week. God bless. We'll see you again next week.